Hi there, Rajat from StartupFrat here, and today I have some good news for you. So it looks like the overall lockdown is going to get relaxed in most places in India from today onwards, and even in my area, I think they're going to let household staff and people like that come over, so I may start getting my cook back and things like that. And then this is pretty much the point where a lot of the focus, a lot of the stuff that has been built up over the last couple of months may start to get disorganized back again, back to the high-paced, disorganized life. So a lot of the things that probably you and I have been able to do together, and even in some cases, you know, in your own personal life, you may have built up some focus around building a skill set, like maybe learning a new skill, playing the guitar or doing something, may get kind of lost in the day-to-day rigmarole of life. So I just wanted to help you out with 4 or 5 points that I was writing down for myself, because this has been a huge period of enlightenment and progress. So this whole mission that I had started with back in February, that I need to start doing something, this is even before the lockdown started, right? That I need to start doing something to help the people whose careers and whose business may get adversely impacted because of the slowdown. Now the slowdown started last year in September, October, and you could see the signs. It's just coronavirus is just one event that goes towards, you know, punching that balloon, and any other event would have done that. It's not only the corona. So anyway, whatever. So I was just writing down the items that have helped me become so much more focused and get all of this stuff done in the last 60 days or 70 days, maybe 60 to 70 days, which is I've been able to put all of my learnings into a platform, into an ecosystem platform. The platform is doing well. We've created a lot of, a lot of students from different batches. They've started earning over 6 figures a month and all of that. And then we have currently over 80, almost close to 100 students on the ecosystem right now, the launch program. And I hope to continue providing the same level or better level of service even when things open up and the different distractions come take our life back away from us, right? So I was just writing down some points and I wanted to share them with you. And then I've got some stuff kept over here on the table that you probably not able to see, but I'll hold it up so you can see better. Okay, and then hopefully this video is of use to you. And then I have something coming up tomorrow, which is going to be pretty exciting. Now, what is the first? So a couple of things that really helped me to focus during this time, I just wanted to share with you. The first thing was De-Clutter. Now I follow this stuff throughout in my life pretty aggressively, which means every 3 to 4 months I declutter stuff in my house that I haven't used for the last 6 to 12 months running. So every end of quarter or end of, like in the end of June, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at my house and see what are the things that I've not used in the last 6 to 12 months running. And I just take them and I put a heavy stone on my heart and I discard them. Okay, so if I give it away to people who need it, or I just literally put it out and let the housekeeping, the people who clear the garbage literally take it away. I don't want to see it. And sometimes it puts a heavy load on my heart because there is stuff that I haven't used that I really like. But if it's lying around and I haven't used it, I just put it out. Boom, done. Okay, and that includes clothes, that includes even electronics. I have a bunch of headphones and things like that lying around. It doesn't help anyone. So if I haven't used them, I call a couple of my friends saying, hey, do you need an extra headphone? I have this one, just come pick it up. Pick it from my office today. If they don't do that, I just give it away. Boom, done. Remove it. Okay, so decluttering. Now I'll just like to show you a little prop that I use these decluttering bags. This thing is almost like my height. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. Okay. I start decluttering and I give myself 2 days. Right now, this is some extra stuff that has been in there. It contains old broken down lamps, expired medicines, and old photo album that I've basically just photocopied the photos from old times, destroyed the photos and the album. So you don't need this stuff anymore. You digitize the photos and you're done. Nobody looks at photo albums. All of that stuff is in there. And in the next weekend or the weekend after that, this thing will be full. 5 feet of stuff that you thought is useful to you but you haven't used in the last 12 months goes in there and it goes out of your house. Okay, so you do need to declutter your house, because if you don't declutter your house, you will not be able to declutter your mind. Okay, the same goes with your computer. I do this every 2 to 3 weeks. I just go into all of the stuff on my desktop. I just remove it or categorize it into folders or get rid of it or something. And then I use Google Drive, which is 200 GB I'm using right now, which means all of the important stuff in my life, which includes some of the under processed videos and stuff that I'm putting out, is in there. So it's synced to the cloud so I don't lose that data. And then usually I keep my desktop space pretty free. Okay, I used to store a lot of movies in my desktop, but these days movies are on demand. There is no point storing movies and things like that. So it's all free, just declutter the whole thing, your computer, your brain, your house, and all of that stuff. So declutter that stuff. The second thing is, do not waste time. One of the things that has happened during this whole COVID lockdown is there was less activity on the phone. It started with more activity when the lockdown started. I was spending so much more time on social media because there's nothing else to do, getting into lots of discussions with people over political issues and whether there should be a lockdown, not be a lockdown, whether the government is doing right, wrong, whatever, right? And then, I basically, my wife told me that, why are you wasting all this time? Why don't you do something constructive? And then basically that got me the idea that I've been working on this whole stuff around, trying to help people whose careers may be slowing down, because the slowdown that started in September last year. And then I started going at it big time. And I'm going to show you some of the time planning, etc., that I've done that has really helped me get a lot of stuff done. And I'll share it with you in just a second. So all of this stuff, wasting time on WhatsApp, on these WhatsApp groups, you need to mute all of them and you need to exit some of them, okay? All of this stuff, calling your relatives like 40 times a week, is of no value to anyone, okay? You call them once on Sunday, your most cherished relatives, and all the others, you WhatsApp them, hey, hope everything is fine, let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Boom, done, remove it, right? 2 hours a week on the Sundays, it's done. There is no value in just, hodgepodging the whole thing through your life. Every single day, people calling you for no reason, you answering the call and just wasting time on the phone. All of those extra 10, 15 minutes, twice or thrice in a day, they all add up to basically you not being able to achieve your goals, because peak productivity focus in your mind, my friend, is reached after 4 to 6 hours of focused effort. So it's only when you focus uninterrupted for 4 to 6 hours at a time that your brain will reach peak productivity and clarity. Okay, it's not with 1 hour of work, 2 hours. No, you have to be totally focused with your phone off and on the side, and you have to be focused doing only one thing. No browsing around on YouTube and, clicking everything that flashes and all of that. And it's only after at least 4 hours of focus time, more like 6, that your brain really starts to kick in gear. And they say that, the human brain, etc., is better than a supercomputer. That's a load of crap. The brain is not as good as any kind of computer unless it is focused on one thing. Okay, the processing power has to be harnessed, and the harnessing happens after 4 to 6 hours of focused work. Okay, now some of these ideas I'm going to share with you are from a book called The Power of Full Engagement. And towards the end, I'm going to roll out a contest that you can win this book from me. Okay, so I'll just talk to you about that in just a second. Okay, so all of this phone and all needs to be on mute, silent, whatever. You don't need to pick these calls and all of that. If you have multiple cell phones in the family, there needs to be one cell phone that all the blue dart people, all the delivery people, all of those people who before they show up to your house, they call you. That is the one number that they need to use. So if it's like a hand phone in your house, that's cool. If it's like mobile phone, just one mobile phone number out of all the different numbers you have in your house needs to be on public records. Okay, all of these other numbers need to be only family record, and nobody should be calling it for no reason and all of that. Okay, now what is the next thing? Rules and rituals. Rules and rituals. In business, I follow a set of rules. In personal life, I follow what you call a certain set of rituals. Okay, what are the business rules? I don't answer phone calls, I don't do business on the phone, and I don't do business on WhatsApp. Okay, so if you must have seen a lot of people, some of you may have asked me for my WhatsApp number, and I said no. If we are to speak, I work very closely with the people who are in the launch program, provided they want to work closely, right? So some of you guys are working at a different pace, and that's totally fine. I respect that. But if you ever reach out and say, hey Rajat, I really need this help, if you're in the launch program, you'll get a call with me. Okay. Now this call is usually on Zoom because I don't do business on WhatsApp and I don't do business on the phone, plain and simple. Okay. And this Zoom helps me batch all of the stuff together. Okay. So these are my business rules. I do business on Zoom calls. I do it via email. I don't do business on anything else. So people who ask me for links and stuff on Facebook, you will never get a response from me. Hey, can you mail me? Can you send me the link? Can you mention the link? Nothing like that. The whole thing is captured on live video. You have the link written on the whiteboard. I'm reading out the link from my mouth like 40 ways from Sunday. Monday. If you can't find the link, don't expect the link from me. But if you send me an email, you will always get a response from me. So I do business on email. Even if you're not in the launch program, you're part of the community. If you ever send me an email, you will 100% every single time get a response from me. Now the responses are also batched. I do it once in a day, towards the end of the day or something. And if I cannot get back to you, you'll get a response saying, I've read your email, but I'm unable to give you a good response right now. So you wait for 2 days, I'll give you a good response, right? So all of that stuff I do. The third thing is batching. I have students. I'm not like I don't like putting people into like one big lump of community and then trying to help them build their startups and things like that. So I have small batches that I have personal interaction with all of them. And if somebody sends me a mail saying, I missed your webinar, I want to get in whatever price, just let me know. I don't do that. I don't do that because I like to work in batches, and then that helps me save my time. And it's not one big batch right now because right now we're at a formative stage. So I really want to get personal touch and figure out what's happening in everybody's life, business life, and really help them out. But if outside of that somebody says, hey, I want to get into your program, whatever, even at full price, I don't send them a link. If they can find it on Teachable or something, they can absolutely get in, and then I'll figure out what batch to put them in. But I don't promote my links outside the webinar actively because I don't want a bunch of people spread throughout the week that I cannot track, and I don't know what's happening with every one of them. So there are different batches at different stages of their development of their startups, and I like to put them in batches. So if somebody misses the webinar, I pretty much have to tell them with all due respect that you just have to wait for the next webinar, because I launch a batch pretty much every other webinar. Some of my webinars, there is no batch launch. So this is just information and you can take the information and enjoy. And some of these webinars have batch launches built into them. So at the end of the webinar, let's say there's a 10-minute window where you can take a decision. I'm launching a batch, you can get in. Now, if you're outside that webinar, that's my business rule. I don't do this stuff because I want to do this right. And I have limited time and I want to use that time to the best of my abilities, right? Those are my business rules, and I don't do business on WhatsApp and on the phone and things like that. Similarly, in my personal life, I have rituals. What are the rituals? Every morning I have to read my goals. Okay, every morning I have to read my goals. The first thing in my wallet that comes out are these 2 gold cards, long term, short term. The short term, I've already completed the goal. My August, which was a 6-month goal, has been completed in May, which is 3 months from the date of launch. And then I have separate goal books. So I have this goal book which has all my long-term goals written down. I write these goals every single day, twice a day, every single day, twice a day. Okay, so if you're in the launch program, this whole thing is given in module 1 where you have all the goal setting and all of that. And then I don't even only do it on the front end, I do it at the back end. So I have these diaries where I literally have tracked all my time that I have spent, March, April, whatever. The whole time is tracked on this diary. How much time exactly I spent working on this particular business line, which is the StartupFrat business line. Like you can look at this. It has hour by hour and half an hour by half an hour tracking of how much time I put in. It's got some notes in here. What are the things I was able to achieve? What are the things I missed out? And this thing, by the way, I was spending, the reason I got my 6-month goal in 3 months is not because I'm smart and because the program will make you a Superman overnight and you click this button and you'll make $1 million. Nothing like that. I had budgeted 30 hours a week to spend on this business line, but because of the slowdown, my time was suddenly much more free. Now, if you look at all these week-on-week time trackers, I have spent anywhere between 56 to 64 hours. I've been able to go to a max of 64 in some weeks. And in some weeks I've gone to a minimum of 56, but at an average I spent over 60 hours a week building this business line for 3 months without distraction. Okay, 60 hours a week building this business line without distraction, which is why I was able to complete my 6 months goals in 2 months or 3 months. Now, with every launch program, I pretty much tell them that if you don't have 30 hours a week to spend on your new startup, then you cannot work with me because it takes that kind of time. I'm not going to lie to you saying, oh, you can work like 10 hours a week and get this done, because you won't get this done. Okay, so if you don't have 30 hours a week to work on your new startup, then I cannot work with you because I cannot be the reason for your failure. So I just tell them upfront. And that means less batches, less students for me, and higher quality work with people who are committed. Okay, this is just one business line. I have the other business line. Wait 1 second. My corporate management, which is the corporate consulting business line, you will see all of this stuff. All of this stuff is tracked on these sheets. How much time, how much money given under various categories have I spent? Look at this stuff. All of this stuff is tracked on these sheets. Okay, so all of this stuff. So these are 2 books. This is how much time I'm spending in each business line and what all did I get done that day. This is separate diaries. Okay, this is separate diaries. So these get filled every single day. This thing gets filled. These are my goal lists. They get filled every single day. This goal card, the first thing that comes out of my wallet is my goal card. I'm touching it, looking at it, reading it like 10 times a day. Okay, everything is given in the launch program module 1. All of this stuff is given in over there. Okay, so these are some of my rituals. What do? I also listen to some power audio right in the morning because I want to get on, man. When I wake up, I want to get on. I want to get pounding into my day. So what do? I either listen to The Strangest Secret, that's startupfrat.club/secret, startupfrat.club/secret. I listen to The Strangest Secret. It's 30 to 40 minutes of listening. So what do? I use this little headphone. This is one of my many headphones, yeah. And I put this over here, and this thing goes over my ears. It's a Bluetooth headset, okay? This thing goes over my ears and goes over my ears and goes here. Now, regardless in the morning whether I'm sitting on the john or shaving or something, for most things, this thing doesn't come in the way, right? So what happens for most things, even if I'm brushing my teeth or, doing your morning stuff or shaving or brushing or whatever it is, this thing is not in the way. So I'm literally listening. My phone is kept in my bedroom, but I'm listening to The Strangest Secret or an audiobook from Grant Cardone, any audiobook from Grant Cardone, preferably the 10x principle or Sell or Be Sold, or any one of these books written by Grant Cardone, audiobooks. You want 30 minutes of that straight into your brain first thing in the morning, so it pumps you up and you're out, fighting your battles every single day. And there is no time wasted figuring out what you want to do, etc. Talking about figuring out what you want to do, I'm using a new mic. Let's see how this works out for audio recording. But my calendar, everything is planned for the next day before I go to sleep. Okay. Where is my calendar on this phone? So this is the second phone that I use. My primary phone is that one that's recording the video. And let me just find out where the damn calendar is. Calendar. Okay, everything is planned on my Google Calendar hour by hour. It's not synced. I think it's syncing. Yeah, look at this stuff. All of this stuff is loaded, man. All of this stuff is loaded in time slots which range from 1 hour to 5 hours. If I'm learning a new skill, just watch that video I have for time war and focus war. I did them on Facebook Live, time war and focus war. If I'm learning a new skill, I budget like a half a day or a full day for it. If it's a routine thing that I'm just doing every single day, it takes half an hour, I'll budget half an hour or 1 hour for it. And then my whole day is put into segments of what I want to achieve. Okay, the whole day at the end of the day is tracked on these little diaries. In the beginning of the day, I have my goals for life, which is family goals, money goals, wealth goals, society goals. What do I want to do for society in my social services, outreach and all of that. All of that is planned and tracked. Okay, this stuff is, I'm pretty serious about this stuff for rituals, and that helps me stay focused. Okay, what is the next stuff? Okay, I did the calendar, business rules, batch processing. Okay, batch processing, very important. Batch processing. Batch processing is all the kind of mundane tasks that take away your time. I told you about one of the batch processing, which is I call all my relatives and everybody on Sunday afternoons. That's it. They know that they're going to get a call from me on Sunday afternoons. And otherwise, if I don't take their call, I'll send them a WhatsApp immediately saying, I'm in office. If there's nothing urgent, I'll call you on Sunday. Boom, done. If there is something urgent, they'll let me know by WhatsApp, and then we'll figure out how to take care of that. But I don't answer calls. I don't do calls. That thing has really helped me. Another batch processing item, which is why I'm recording the video today, is because tomorrow onwards my cook may start coming. So I have my whole food stuff outsourced, which means the cook figures out, she has her own expense account, she figures out what I want to eat for 5-6 days a week. She doesn't bother me with what is to be cooked and how it is to be purchased and all of that. Now, between me and my wife, we have separate food habits. She likes to cook something for herself every evening when she comes from work, like something fresh and nice and all of that. And I don't care about that stuff anymore. What I care about is getting ahead of my goals. So what we have is this: during the lockdown, I used to cook some khichdi for myself in a 5-liter cooker. There's a 5-liter cooker or something like that, 4-liter or something. I used to cook a bunch of khichdi in this stuff, and I have some stuff to show you. Okay, I used to cook this much whatever, you have water over here and then you have this much of food. I used to cook this much and put it away in the fridge, and I was literally, for this last 70 days, I've been eating from the fridge. This is 3 days worth of food that I cooked 3 days ago, which means 3 days already finished. This is going to last another 3 days. I literally take this out of the fridge and either I microwave it or I just eat it cold. I don't care about it. This stuff I cooked once, and this stuff has been going around for 4 days. Now, I don't care if you judge me for eating stale food or hum to sirf fresh hi khate and all of that. And I totally understand that because it works for my wife. But then I'm working on a mission that's going to change our lifestyle tomorrow. Okay, so I don't care what I eat for food and all of that. I batch this stuff, put it in the fridge, and I microwave small portions of it once a day, twice a day, and I eat it. And that's really helped me because all of this stuff is out of the way. All of this stuff is out of the way. Okay, people say that in lockdown, our time was spent cleaning the house and cooking food and all of that, which the maid used to do. Dude, my time was maximized because there was no maid to ring the bell. I did not have to eat at a particular time, which is why during the week I have separate food habits from my wife. She's very nice, she will cook for me and all of that. But then the food is cooked at 1 o'clock. I'm busy doing something that I cannot leave because I'm in the focus zone. And then the food is lying there getting cold, and then I have to hear about it later that, I cooked some fresh food for you and the whole thing is stale or kharab ho jayega. Should I put it in the fridge? Whatever it is. I don't want to talk about it for 6 days in a week, okay? Now, she's super nice to me. She, every day in the morning when I wake up, or even if I go to take a nap in the afternoon, when I wake up, there's some nice fresh cold coffee waiting for me on the bedside, which is something I love. But broadly, I don't want to deal with anyone. I don't want to talk to anyone, and I don't want any decisions of whether to eat at this time, not to eat at this time. If I feel hungry, I go straight to the fridge, get that stuff out there and microwave it in 2 seconds, or I just eat it cold. I don't care about this stuff, okay? And if you are the primary breadwinner, I'm talking to the gents because in most families today, the men don't really have to take care of the kids. It's different when you're taking care of the kids. So you obviously want to do better by them. But if you're not actively taking care of the kids yourself, if you're not one of the two spouses who's taking care of the kids actively, you need to focus on your dream and on your goal, and you want to crank it out, and none of this crap matters. All of this stuff is bullshit. Focusing on food, focusing on calling your relatives 40 times a week, asking them how they are, is a complete waste of time. It doesn't add any value to anyone, okay? And this stuff has really helped me. I literally cook 4 days at a time for myself, and other people will do it for me, like my family would do it for me, but I don't want them involved. I want 6 days of complete peace and quiet, and I don't want them to ask me if I've eaten my food, not eaten my food, whatever it is. In the morning, I cook some eggs and bread, and that's one meal, and then I have one of these meals, and I've reduced myself to 2 meals a day during the lockdown. Why? Because of energy. Every time you eat a meal, it takes a little bit of time for it to digest, and you cannot focus during that time. Every time you go for your office lunch, you cannot focus between 2 and 4 p.m. because your body is digesting that food. So your brain is not focused at that time because digesting the food is an energy intensive process. So I cut down my meal times from 3 to 2 so that I have less time that my body is spending digesting food, and I was able to pound out 64 hours of work on my part-time business, my friend. 64 hours of work a week on my part-time business, okay? So that's how I was able to do all of this stuff that I do for you guys, and that's, if you're in the launch program, the least is 30 hours a week, all right? The least is 30 hours a week. You have to do this, okay? So that is one stuff. Now, all of this energy stuff, conserve your energy, okay? The more you eat, the food will actually steal your energy. So what is the thing that will give you energy? What is the thing that will give you energy, my friend, is water. You need to be drinking 4 liters a day. Okay, you need to be drinking 4 liters a day. Now, if you're a lady who is under 60 kgs of body weight, then maybe you can do in 3 liters, but that is the bare minimum. Okay, medical standards are 2.2 liters. Okay, so you need to do at least 3 liters, ideally 4 liters. You could go up to 5 liters, and it's super healthy. And the more you drink, the better it is. And there are athletes in the world who drink 16 liters a day, 4 gallons a day, which is 3.8 liters is 1 gallon or something like that. Okay, so they are drinking 12 to 15 liters of water a day just to help their body perform better. Okay, you need to be drinking at least 4, if not 5 liters a day. Okay, and this is the stuff that's going to keep you high energy. It's going to keep you focused. It's going to keep your brain working at full power, and it's going to help you in your sleep quality and everything. So if you start drinking 5 liters, I would recommend, or at minimum 4 liters, your sleep quality will immediately improve. Your sleep quality will immediately improve, and in 5 hours a night you will be able to get the same sleep that you would otherwise get in 8 or 9 hours a night. So I highly recommend, and everybody does this, okay? All of the top industrialists are drinking 8, 9, 10 liters of water a day, okay? So this stuff you really need to. So now I'll just show you my bottles and stuff. So I have all these bottles. I have 6 of these which are mine, which don't belong to anyone else. I fill out 6 of these bottles in the morning, and ideally 5 liters to about 6 liters a day is finished by the time I go to sleep. Okay, and if I see halfway through the day that I'm not consuming enough, I'll actually sit down at a table and drink 1 liter of water before I get off that table, the dining table. Okay, so that stuff has really helped me, and all of these items have really helped me. Now there's this book I'm referring to constantly, which is called The Power of Full Engagement. The Power of Full Engagement. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, you can win this book from me tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to put out a video, okay, at about 6-7 p.m. tomorrow on Tuesday. And I'm going to put out a video which is an interview by the Wolf of Wall Street, which is that person who on the movie was based, right? The Wolf of Wall Street, the actual Wolf of Wall Street. And he is interviewing a gentleman called Ryan Serhant, who's one of the top real estate brokers in Manhattan, New York, and he routinely sells multi-million-dollar properties. And he has talked about what are the things that help him sell multi-million-dollar deals to people who are looking for expensive houses and things like that. Okay, how he's able to play in that segment. And it's a small 10-minute, 8-minute, 10-minute interview, which one of my competitors has published. So I'm going to just give them the credit, and I'm going to publish that interview on this group tomorrow. And I'm going to ask you your top learnings. Anybody who's able to give me, there are at least 5 or 6 learnings in there. But anybody who's able to mention at least 2 good ones, 2 right things that you learned from that video tomorrow, you're gonna get a copy of The Power of Full Engagement from me, which is gonna help you plan your day so that you can get your productivity to 2x to 3x of whatever it is today. And I thought this is the right time to publish this video and get into all of this and show you all of my personal stuff, is because as soon as the lockdown opens, we are going to go back to our distracted lives, our urban middle class, distracted, doing 20 things in a day but not getting anywhere, that kind of life. And I thought this is a good time when I should actually sit down and think about what are the things that helped me get all of this stuff done during the lockdown, when most people are busy cooking their own food and cleaning their own house, etc., and then get it out to you. And then tomorrow I'm going to give away copies of this book, The Power of Full Engagement, The Power of Full Engagement. And just watch out for that video. If you are able to write down the top 2 learnings out of at least 5 or 6 that are there in the video, then you can win this book from me. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I hope you had a good one. Bye bye.